Well, today we talk about Yu-Gi-Oh again. I kinda got back to Yu-Gi-Oh, but I don't play the modern format because it's just way too hard to get into. For once, the game is very little interactive unless you have hand traps. Not that I'm against hand traps, but it's kind of it's really hard to explain if you don't play the game. Also, if you take just 3 months of break, it's really hard to get into because every card has like 20 effects. And since I play on simulator, it takes too much time to read all these effects per card. You're wasting your turn, so it gets really boring because you can keep up with what's going on. And if you say just read the card before playing, well, uh, might as well read a book and waste your time doing something else. Really, really hard to get back into Yu-Gi-Oh, and I don't know how people managed to get into the game from the ground up. And recently, there are a lot of interesting support cards released. And we got Fusion Recruitment, amazing card. It makes Blue Shining Dragon playable, my favorite monster, and I still don't play it. I just stay with gold format. But there's still the desire to see new cards, maybe collect them. That's where new support, legacy support, more importantly come in. We got Gate Guardian support, we got Horus support, but doesn't do anything for Horus. That's what I don't like about new support. Or Archetypes, where they seem to use the old card in mind, but they don't even cooperate with it. Like, there's no reason to use Horus level 8 and a Horus stick now. At least from what I've seen so far. I would expect that would be the main uh, interest in cooperating freaking Horus level 8, which is the, how should I put it? It's a floodgate. It's a pretty powerful floodgate, but really hard to get out. That's one really iconic monster. Then you have, what is it? Just thinking about it, Gate Guardian, where you don't use Gate Guardian in the deck, but you use the materials needed to summon Gate Guardian. In terms of efficiency and deck building, okay, it makes sense. But it's legacy support. You would think you would play all these important cards, including the boss monster itself, but they don't cooperate it. Which is what I don't like about modern Yu-Gi-Oh support. That's what I want to discuss. So it's the same thing with Thunder Dragon. You would think the main appeal. You have Thunder Dragon and the most iconic fusion, twin-headed Thunder Dragon. Everyone who played Forbidden Memory knows how to summon twin-headed Thunder Dragon. It's like the bread and butter of Thunder Dragon. You have to make a deck. You have to make support to make it worthwhile summoning twin-headed Thunder Dragon. But instead, they made 2 new fusions, and those fusions are just broken ass easy to summon, and got banned because one is a floodgate and the other is some broken shit. So there's that. So if that's the thing I don't want, if we get some new support and old legacy support and whatnot. I won't be discussing anime archetypes here. There are still some anime archetypes I want to see, but it's likely they come out. I will just talk about cards I want to see support for in some shape or form, or some, since anime moments are getting referenced, I might incorporate them, like here. Cyberdark Dragon, and Cyberdark and Dragon was a thing a year ago. I think it's insane how time passes where you don't pay attention anymore. But I would like to see Cyberdark Roid support in general, like Cyberdark Roid Dragon. Like, you made Roid Dragon recently, you would expect this fusion to come out. that's really what you want to see. And Roid's, Cyberdarks, like seeing these combined, that was anyone who's watched GX, this is probably the kind of support you want to see. And seeing how Cyrus or Show manages to upgrade the deck of his brothers or his cards, fitting his own playstyle. Or it's already really bad, but this kinda support you would probably don't want to miss out. Cyberdark Roid Dragon, what could it possibly do? I have no idea. Considering the Cyber End version has already insane abilities. And this one I would leave up to the things to the Konami headquarters to figure out something. And I ended up having 5,000 attacks. Yeah, way higher because Cyber End Dragon gains Cyberdark Dragon gains 100 points for every monster in your graveyard. And that's why it went up a lot. They could hard code the attack points into the card, which I doubt they will do. Probably take this attack point and was summoned with Power Bond. Maybe there's something interesting they could do with this. Our next support, which might surprise you, is Yamadron, because this fusion spell for Forbidden Memory looks sick ass. Maybe make a retrain of this monster and maybe make some interesting support where you want to play Yamadron, because look, it looks kinda weird, but here it looks kinda sick. So for one, I want to have this card printed, and maybe they can make a cooler looking design for Yamadron, because Yamadron is Yamadron. Maybe summon the other Yamadron and have more Yamadron around. How was Yamadron even summoned in the game? I kind of forgot, but I'm lazy to look up. And Legacy support doesn't need to be always around Legacy. It can be some cool looking shit like this. Definitely, who wouldn't want to see Yamadron be played? Come on, it has 1800 defense points. You gotta be able to make something. Also, when normal monster support, Konami wants to push normal monsters. Let's combine normal monsters with effect ritual monsters and make something weird and funny. And next is Metalmorph, a really powerful boosting trap card from the old days, which you can tribute with certain monsters and get a really terrible monster out. What I would like to see is actually having those monsters that can be summoned from the deck directly in worthwhile summoning, and maybe some more upgraded Metalmorph versions. Like, who wouldn't want to? The Heavy Metal King was really fun, and would be nice to see that card printed as a retrain of Metal King. Then Metalmorph, or was it Guitar King? Yes, it was Guitar King. And Metalmorph is such a iconic trap card from the anime and manga. It's kinda sad that there's no easy search or support around this. So cards like X of Despair and Megamorph, those are legacy spells and trap cards, why not have easy access to them? Why not make something that where you say, yeah, I want to play that card. No. And Metalmorph is one of the cards I'm thinking about. Now, if you look at the design of Red Eyes Metal, Black Metal Dragon, and Metal Zora, they are insane. They look really good. It makes you want to play them, but they are so bad, you just don't play them. It would be nice to have some support that makes them easy to cheat out and worthwhile to play. I would probably not place the normal monsters required to summon them. Should be one of the things you probably want to get out of the restriction area. We have Warrior Zera support. Warrior Zera going through different adventures, and then depending what path he takes, he becomes a devil, an angel, warrior, or whatever that fucking thing is. Remember, there's a man supposed to be a super rare, powerful card, and it's just garbage. Even in the anime and manga, I think this thing needs a retrain, and here we need easy access to some of them. Probably don't want to play both in the same deck. What was Zeratus effect? It was about related to light monsters, which is making it really hard to cooperate in a deck focused on Zerato. But the Devil itself, I think you can make a deck around. You can make an archetype where you just cheat out or easily get out this card and keep keeping the hand of your opponent occupied in check, draining them from all their resources, which kinda difficult considering every card has now a graveyard effect. But I would like to see more Zera to support what happened to Zera, Warrior Zera. Zerato has already had its adventures of getting upgrades that you may want to play, like Dark Zerato. Dark Zerato is really good, or used to be really good. It was insane. I can't believe they printed that card and still wasn't broken. Because that same set had Dark Armed Dragon and whatnot. So definitely Zera. Good card, good support potential. Where you want to go. Leave your creativity and expand your creativity. It looks kinda ugly, but he needs some love. Flame Swordsman Archetype. You may be wondering, we already have a Swordsman Archetype. Like, there are so many retrains of this card, and they all have nothing to do with Flame Swordman. I want Flame Swordman, an Archetype, where you just summon this thing and it does stuff. It's worth summoning this thing and stuff is being done. Like Joey kind of stuff. You summon this, get Salamandra, and you want to play Salamandra despite a pretty bad card. That's the stuff I'm thinking about, if I'm honest. Meanwhile, we just get weird cards that look like that are Flame Swordmen, but they do weird stuff. Where you would put it into other archetypes. I bit my lip tongue, that's why I can't pronounce some words properly. But that's besides the point. You really want to play a Joey deck like a Flame Swordman support. That's what I think. They probably will make a Red Eyes Flame Swordman, which is probably some stupid Red Eyes support. But who knows? The next I think five-headed dragon needs some support. Like such an okay, for manga readers don't care about five-headed dragon. But people who watch the anime, who played the game, this is a really iconic card. It's powerful. It's the reason for a lot of uh, broken decks because future fusion, filling your grave with five dragons. Its effect is pretty much useless, especially in the modern era. But what I would like to see is, especially in the anime, how it was used. Support that makes it like checking all these various elements, incorporating it into some kind of playstyle is what I'm thinking. Just how should I put it? Which head is representing wind, by the way? But that's besides the point. What's the? I think the middle one. But the point is, getting sidetracked. In the anime, it was a ritual monster for some freaking reason in one season, and it had a god awful summoning condition. But, and that's where the but comes from. When it was summoned but it couldn't attack, it just destroyed the whole field of the opponent. And I think some support that makes it easy to come out, maybe for the cost of attack, but just removing everything your opponent controls. I think that's a fair trade-off, right? Like 5000 attack. Attack doesn't matter anymore. Effect is also garbage. Some neat payoff for summoning this should be either enhancing the effect or give a bonus for going the route and summoning this thing. And maybe some more easy summon. 5 dragons, that's kinda awful. Can we get some easier summon conditions? Maybe not 5 monsters. That would be nice. And making it useful in various kinds of decks, like dungeon crawler decks or whatever. Think about it, Konami. It's 5-headed dragon. I gave you some templates. Watch the anime seasons. The filler arc wasn't that bad, right? I kind of liked it. Mirage Knight Archetype. Mirage Knight, well, who is Mirage Knight? And it's also from the anime filler. And someone, for some reason, Yuki and Joey's Flame Swordsman and Dark Magician fused into a monster that has just 2200 attack points, which is garbage. Immunity to the battle damage, and after it's destroyed, you get Mirage Knight. What's the payoff? Mirage Knight is just a monster that has permanent honest effect, but after attacking it, it's removed. So it's really bad, especially in the modern era. It has a powerful effect, but that can allow it to run over any monster. So it would be nice some support that prevents this removal, banishing part of the effect. At least let it come back somehow. That would be nice. Some support that makes it come back. Maybe a retrain. Maybe something that keeps summoning the Mirage Knight, where you don't need to run Flame Swordman or Dark Magician. Or whatever. And there's exactly no sad stuff how you could get it out, but it's not worth it with the current state, so consider making this useful, maybe. Just an idea. And last but not least, like we need more heroes, but evil heroes got recently support, and by recently I mean probably 1 or 2 years have passed. And they were turned into something that less reliant on elemental heroes. Want more evil hero counterparts, if I'm more honest. Like more evil hero fusion versions of existing cards. And since there's... What do we have? I didn't research for this video. I just thought I blasted some stuff, and like a dark counterpart to Phoenix Enforcer would be nice, and Phoenix Enforcer is already a pretty bad card. And what could an upgrade do? Don't know. But what I do know is would be also nice if we had some spells that allow you to summon these evil heroes without relying on elemental hero materials, like maybe a spell drop a fusion monster, elemental hero fusion monster that has the same materials as another evil hero fusion monster, and just summon this evil hero. This kind of support would be nice. Is this realistic? I think it's reasonable at the very least. I'm just thinking what kind of evil elementary heroes we had, at what Jade infused, like did, and how would also Supreme King use Bubble Man to justify a Steam Healer kind of monster that it's actually broken? I don't know. Certainly, yeah, a Dark Phoenix Enforcer could be an option with some really neat effects. Maybe. Like complete immunity to destruction and targeting. And I think that's pretty much it. I'm kinda out of options. There might be some other cards, like why not make some Dragon Master Knight support, but Konami would probably retrain Dragon Master Knight and give it a better effect that people still don't use it. Like, remember Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon got 2 retrains and nobody uses them. Nobody uses Blue Eyes Ultimate Alternative Dragon. Nobody uses Blue Eyes Neo Ultimate Neo Dragon. Nobody fuses Blue Eyes at all, except for Tyrant Dragon, because it's actually a good card, which after attacking you get a trap card for free from your graveyard set. With this I end the video. I hope you enjoyed and whatnot.